Hello. Tonight, hope you had a good day, but tonight we read up in 2Samuel chapter 13 and Proverbs 28, because today's April 28th. So up in Samuel, 2Samuel, they was talking about rapes and stuff, and just a lot of disrespect going on in that chapter. A lot of abuse of human life. You want to talk about that?
You're doing a great job.
Go ahead. Talk
Well, when you were talking about abuse and disrespect, initially we're thinking that there's something alluring or attractive. But whenever there's any type of ploy or plot of the enemy, afterwards we're disgusted with a lot of times the party who is involved, but ultimately we're disgusted with ourselves, but we don't realize it, so we will put it on another person. I remember times in the past where I knew of people who would do certain things that were not pleasing to God, and they would direct it, and they would have such wrath and rage, and they're the ones perhaps who were the perpetrators. But the victims, they would portray that type of hatred and angst to others. And that's exactly what Amnon did to his sister. He said at first, he thought that she was beautiful, and he supposedly loved her, and he really, really wanted her. But it was his cousin, his father's brother's son, who advised him of the scheme. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and act like you're sick? And, your father is going to tell his daughter, your sister, to go over and to nurse, take care of you and watch her cook and bake and everything. And that's when he said, come and feed me. Let me eat from, your hand or what have you. And it picks up in verse 14. It's a very sad story, but this is what the enemy does to all of us. This is human nature, and we feel disgusted afterwards. It says in verse 14, howbeit he would not hearken unto her voice, because she was like, don't do this evil. But being stronger than she, he forced himself on her and lay with her. In verse 15, then Amnon hated her exceedingly, so that the hatred wherewith was greater than the love that he thought he had for her. He's like, you're disgusting. And what happened all the more was he told his people to bolt the door after her. Do you understand how many people have been rejected, and how many people have turned to a different way of living? I'm not saying lifestyle, because they have felt that intense hatred from someone else, and they were the ones who were the reason why. Maybe they were dumped. Maybe they might have used this person or slept with the person and said, oh, you're disgusting. And that stayed with them. And they have been wearing the sackcloth from that day since.
You gotta mention what she said. She was like,
go ahead.
It would be even more of a disgrace to me to kick me out like this than what you did to me in the first place. So it's like you're doing all this just to look at her like she's a piece of boo-boo, and that needs to be thrown away. So it's like you already disrespect her, and then now you're gonna treat her like she's the problem. So that's just an emphasis on what he did, the two wrongs that he did.
And he didn't realize it, or maybe he realized it, but then tried to swallow that pain. How many times has happened to us? But David was disgusted, and it says in the last verse, because Absalom killed Amnon. And it says that David felt relief. So David, it says that for he was comforted concerning Amnon, seeing he was dead. So do you understand how the enemy just was delighted? He destroyed the daughter, her virginity, her purity was taken away. He destroyed physically Amnon. He destroyed Absalom. He murdered the brother. He destroyed the father. The father was happy that the other son was dead. It was just a mess. But that's what happens. So what is the hope tonight in Proverbs 28? Did you get anything from Proverbs 28?
Yeah, the first one.
The first verse, I said the same thing. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous is as bold as a lion. That's what the Lord wants us to do, to call out things that are not right, to take a stand. What did you get out of that?
I thought about lying in that verse. Not like a lion, but like lying, telling things that aren't the truth. Like, you can't be bold in telling lies. Like, that just don't work. Usually when you're bold, like, you say things with, like, power and, like,
That's excellent.
things that you mean without, like, worrying about the consequences or whatever. So, I just like that. I want to be bold, and it's a good quality to have.
Like a lion and not lying.
Yeah, not trying to, like, shy away or hide, just...
That's beautiful, because that's what Amnon did. He wasn't lying. He was lying to himself. And ultimately, you get destroyed. And that's what the enemy wants: steal, kill, destroy. That's beautiful. Thank you, Timotheus, for blessing my heart. We all need to be confident in the Lord. Be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. Put on that whole armor and keep it on. Thank you.
All right. Peace.